What's up, beer lovers? Tonight's beer comes from special request. A good buddy of mine asked for my thoughts on this beer, and well, I'll give them to you. This is Batch 19. It's a pre-prohibition style lager, hence the name 19, to give some credence to Prohibition, which happened in 1919. So anyway, this beer is made by Coors, though for whatever reason they're not putting their name on the bottle. And it's a pre-prohibition style lager, and supposedly they dug this recipe up out of their basement. So this technically should give you a good representation of what beers tasted like pre-prohibition. And actually, this should actually taste exactly like what Coors made pre-prohibition, because this was a recipe they dug up out of their basement. And supposedly the last time it was brewed was 1919. So they were brewing this beer up to a certain point, and they had to stop for government reasons. Now, what changed in American culture during Prohibition, I'm not real sure on. I don't know if the taste changed or if the breweries just started, when Prohibition ended, if they just started cramming out stuff as fast as they could, cheaply as they could, to start making money again, which changed the taste in American beer. I'm not sure. You'd have to ask a beer historian. I am not a beer historian. So, anyway, this beer has today, the day before Thanksgiving, has an 81 score from Beer Advocate, for the Bros have it at 90. Now, I don't remember for sure, but I am pretty sure that score was a lot higher when I first bought this beer. And I've had a couple of these, and I've had some mixed opinions on it, and haven't come to a clear consensus, so I figured, you know what, I'm just going to throw the video out there and review it like it's a beer I've never tasted before, and see what shakes loose. I haven't loved it, but I haven't hated it either. So anyway, it does come with a twist off, though the bottle's pretty cool. It's got a little styling to it, which is nice to see. You know, not the same run-of-the-mill bottle. Anyway, let's see what I think about it. It pours to a nice, dark, oh, I don't know what you'd call that. It's kind of like dingy copper. It appears to be clear, but the coloration would suggest haziness. But it is absolutely clear. I can see everything through it. But it almost has a hazy, dingy color to it. It poured too little to no head, but it does seem to be lingering and lacing. So it smells almost like an American beer, with a little bit more malt and a little bit more hops. But it's not that far removed from your standard Budweiser, Coors, Miller beer. It smells almost like that. Taste up front is a malt note, a caramelized malt note at that. Not overpowering, and on the back end is a nice finishing bitterness. Now, that sounds like a decent beer. However, there's a terribly off flavor, and I can't pinpoint what it is. I don't know if it's the corn, because pre-prohibition lagers were definitely brewed with corn, or if it's some other malted grain in here. It almost has that harsh, kind of dirty flavor that reds pick up, but not to that extent. It's a very minor player note in this beer. It also finishes just a touch harsh. It's not incredibly smooth, and it's not harsh. It's run-of-the-mill at best, but interesting in the fact that if the story's true, it may be a little bit of history. I could have one or two of these in a sitting and not mind occasionally, but I wouldn't reach for it. I wouldn't go to the cooler actively seeking out this beer other than to try it one time. It's just not that good. but it's not horrible either. And it's could possibly be a little touch of history. That being said, have a good night.